Доброго дня, шановні колеги.
Good afternoon, esteemed colleagues. Thank you for coming here and to the audience which watches us online. Within the pilot project, the speaker of the Spokesman of Peaceful Life, we are going to talk about the results of the Lugansk region days in Kyiv. And actually, in this, we are talking about a week since March 14th through 17th. Last week we had the governor of the military civilian management in Lugansk, Mr. Tuka, who announced about this event. And 2 days ago we had in this studio represents Lugansk Drama Theater, who actually presented two performances which took place. One of them took place was staged yesterday in Ivan Franko Theater, and today Maklana Grasa, social psychological drama, is going to be staged today. Today we have the first deputy of the head of the military civilian organization, Madam Elizaveta Pushko-Tsybulyak. Good afternoon. We are going to talk today about economic forum which took place the day before yesterday on March the 15th, and the other topics associated with the days of Lugansk and Kyiv. So, Ms. Elizaveta, can you remind us what the main purpose of those events, and then we are going to switch over to the other topics. So the purpose of this forum is just to unveil the myth that in the Lugansk area there are no economic development or industrial development, or it's impossible to do business in Lugansk. So that was our major goal, to unveil this myth and then to draw attention to the opportunities offered by Lugansk area and the possible opportunities to attract investments. We are talking about the economy. And the next topic, we were talking about the restoration of infrastructure. We would like to speak about the damage inflicted to our area and to offer to our potential international donors to make their investments to restore our region. Actually, this forum started yesterday about 12 midnight. How many persons were involved? Actually, that forum lasted practically the whole day. In active participants at this forum, we are talking about 68 business representatives from Lugansk area, 12 representatives of the agro-industrial complex. They provide the exhibits they display the exhibits for our exhibition, and 14 industrial product enterprises brought the samples of their production. Please speak a bit slow because we have simultaneous translation. We also organized three sites, or three platforms, where we show the catalogs and the projects to restore the infrastructure and the road infrastructure included. With several hundreds participate in that function. Also, we are talking about 7 banks. The Minister of the Grain Policy were involved. What this offered to us? We actually signed 6 memoranda, which already brought some fruit. We are talking about the consent with the Industrial and Commercial Chamber, with Ukrainian railroads, the 7 banks, international financial institutions, regarding the donor funds to be channeled for the restoration infrastructure. We are talking about the results or outcome of this forum. So we have already some of the big-time positive projects in the agrarian sphere. First of all, out of 12 exhibition companies, they had about 40 different negotiations within the framework of which they reached some of the agreements. Most of you were there involved with the chamber, commercial chamber, industrial commercial chamber, and other entities. Next, very interesting event, the negotiations which took place with the involvement of the Minister of the Agrarian Policy regarding the export of the different products, including livestock to China, and some other projects which are going to be later formalized and implemented. We're hoping to have some positive result. Speaking about the agrarian sector, also had negotiations regarding further expansion of the export on territory Ukraine of the flour. Also, we reached the agreement with the Minister of Agrarian Ministry to select the commercial investment project in the agrarian sphere and their financial support within the PPP, new PPP in the agrarian sphere. Speaking about industry, there was very interesting proposal on such projects which relate to the to the PPP partnership. By the way, our proposals to invest into the Peromaisk mines. And actually, this association has 4 different mines in order to combine the extraction and processing of the extracted minerals. We are talking about some mini master classes. We already approached the Minister of the Energy and Fuel and Energy to consider our proposal. We also have signed a memorandum with the Ukrainian railroads regarding the construction of Kuratov-Svatova, which is very important from 2 points of view. First of all, it's very let's say advantageous from economic point of view, and then this also has a very great importance, significance if you're talking about the railroad infrastructure. And actually this branch or railroad branch will be very instrumental in making the production of the grains or the cereals less expensive. We are talking about 60-ton cargo freight trucks which actually follow different roads in our region. We have to rebuild or restore the infrastructure. If we are talking about using such powerful trucks, this will allow us to preserve our roads. And there were some very interesting proposals. Our agreement was one of the German companies in 3 different planes. You were talking about is being interested. We are going to use the new technologies, including training of our employees, of our personnel, in order to further involve them in provide them job when they master their new technologies. Also, they are prepared to give us to offer some investments in creating new technologies for us to implement those projects without the involving their experts. A very important position is the position of the Saving Bank, because we also signed a memorandum with them. We proposed different options of crediting of the small and medium-sized businesses in the industrial. And it is because in the Lugansk area, this program has not been implemented for the last 2 years, and those issues are very important to us. Speaking about international financial institutions, we had a very interesting dialogue with the pro-UN and with the Reconnaissance Foundation and UNIDORF. UNIDORF, actually, they already selected 3 projects within the framework of our forum in order to introduce the energy-saving technologies, replacement of boilers, and replacement of the elimination fixtures, and even replacement or substitution for different existing equipment in 3 different areas. Also, they presented the program which is going to be implemented in 2016. We actually introduce them to the people who are going to participate in implementation of the project. And also we are talking about some additional projects which could consider this year. Also, we provided the international financial institution the opportunity to acquaint themselves with other projects. We are talking about the road infrastructure, because they are going to give the financial resources when we have some projects in place. So we provide the projects in very illustrative, graphical form, where we are going to spend the resources to restore our roads. Speaking about the outcomes and results of those functions, we are already working on issuing 2 catalogs, the business bulletin of the industrial and the commercial chamber of Lugansk area. We're going to including this booklet or in this publication, all the materials which represent our investment forum regarding different products produced by different enterprises and companies which could be used for the export. And this catalog is going to be distributed between all the diplomatic missions and the representative offices and in the economic entities in Ukraine. We are going to make an announcement that this forum was just the first step towards hopefully more powerful investment forum, which we hopefully will be able to hold in the Severodonetsk and the Lugansk region. Because today, to invite anybody to that area, we understood that this is a very risk-associated endeavor. So that was only the first initial step. Also, we are working on a catalog regarding our social infrastructure, road infrastructure in general, speaking about the problems faced by the IDPs, providing them with housing, providing them with the opportunities for adaptation or to involve the international donor investments. And speaking about the organizational aspects, we reached an agreement with the Academy of Municipal Management, Academy of Economic Sciences, a number of public organizations. We're going to sign during this week a package of documents to set up the Agency of Regional Development, which will involve also the public representatives and the researchers and scientists. We are going to have the council, which will exercise control over the movement of the donor money. It's very important today that every cent, every kopeck could be spent today in a very transparent manner and very efficiently. We have to understand that while last year about 500 million of donor funds reached the Lugansk area, the public and the donors have to know for what purposes they were spent and what were the outcome of this spending. So in the end, I would like to say that it's very important to balance off as a financier, try to balance the risk available in the Lugansk area and economic reasonability. And we can say that we are on the way, on the road leading us toward the peaceful life. We have the situation when the people resume return to their place of work, and also we have very big money as our contributions to the local budget. So the economics work, and the industry works. Over $500 million dollars of investments, which are used today in the Lugansk area. None of the foreign investors took away their investments from that area, which actually proves that they are happy to remain there. So we also approached the Verkhovna Rada with a proposal to introduce a special regime of taxation in Lugansk area, whether this special economic area or priority economic area. It doesn't matter how it is going to be called, but we have to hold the conference to do something that at least they two representatives had the chance to face a minimum level of risk. So they also have to do something about that. And we need money to further develop economy. Economy is the basis for any development. So we have 12,000 local residents. This is not just some kind of alms. It's a possibility to have some job. Also, we'll have to replenish the budget, and we have the budget. We'll have necessary funds to renovate the assistance we have. Thank you very much for a very detailed and very informative answer. We have one more question regarding your further plans. Recently, on the side of the Lugansk military and civilian administration, they carried the news that they plan to create or set up the so-called development agency. And Mr. Tuka said that The World Bank was going to provide finances for that. Do you have any information about this agency? What stage? I was talking about that agency. This is going to be registered within maximum 10 days period of time, and all documents are in place. And during the forum, we actually had the negotiations with all the participants who are going to be co-founders of these agencies, and we are positive. This, of course, we are talking about the industrial and commercial chambers and public organizations, but we also thought that we need representatives of science. We have already agreed with them, and the self-governance organization, because the projects are going to be implemented for the purposes and for the sake of the local governance. Thank you very much. Any questions or clarifications? If none, I think at this stage this brings us to close our briefing, and we wish you all the luck, all the success in your endeavors. And you mentioned that maybe in Severodonetsk you're going to have another forum in Severodonetsk